The cantina on Nexus Station reeked of a dozen different species' idea of intoxication. Captain Jake Morrison pushed through the crowd of alien traders, mercenaries, and smugglers, his human eyes scanning for his contact. The job posting had been vague: extraction specialist needed for dangerous fauna retrieval, but the pay was substantial enough to ignore the red flags. He found her in the darkest corner, just as described. The Velthari female sat hunched over a table, her lupin features twisted in what humans might mistake for a permanent snarl. Midnight black fur covered her muscular frame, and her amber eyes tracked every movement in the room with predatory precision. Most patrons gave her table a wide berth. "You the human?" She growled as Jake approached, her voice carrying the distinctive rumble of her species. Her lips pulled back slightly, revealing fangs that could punch through combat armor. "Captain Morrison," Jake replied, settling into the chair across from her, despite every instinct screaming at him to maintain distance. "You're Kira Shane?" Her ears flattened against her skull, a sign of irritation he'd learned from his xenobiology courses. "Just Kira, and you're either very brave or very stupid human." "Probably both. Your message mentioned a retrieval job?" "Kira's." Laugh was more bark than humor. "My pack was hunting a void stalker in the Kepler Nebula. Nasty things, invisible, acidic claws, telepathic screaming that can liquefy most species' brains. We cornered it on a dead world, but—" She paused, her massive hands clenching into fists. "It got me good before my packmates put it down." Jake noticed the way she held her left shoulder, the barely perceptible favoring of her right side. "You're injured." "Observant for a pink skin," she snarled, but there was less venom in it than before. "Void stalker claw. Barg. Broke off in my shoulder blade. My people can't remove it too close to the spine. One wrong move and I'm paralyzed." "And you need someone with steadier hands," Jake concluded, Kira's amber eyes fixed on him with unsettling intensity. "Velthari medicine is crude, effective for battlefield wounds, but this requires precision, delicacy, things my people don't excel at." The admission clearly cost her. "Humans have a reputation for detailed work, microsurgery. Your species performs operations my people would consider impossible." Jake leaned back, studying her. The Velthari were apex predators on their homeworld, a warrior culture that prized strength above all else. For one to admit weakness to an outsider, especially a human, spoke of desperate circumstances. "What's the catch?" Kira's muzzle twisted into what might have been a smile. "Velthari enter a feral state when in severe pain. Sedatives don't work on us evolutionary adaptation to prevent enemies from drugging us in combat. If you operate while I'm conscious, I might kill you. If I'm unconscious and something goes wrong, you'll die." Jake rubbed his chin. "So you need someone skilled enough to perform microsurgery on a fully conscious, potentially homicidal alien predator." "Keep staring and I'll pounce," Kira warned, though her tone held a hint of dark amusement. "But pull the Thorn first, human." Jake was quiet for a long moment, weighing the risks. The smart play was to walk away. But something in Kira's eyes, a flicker of vulnerability beneath the predator's mask, made him reconsider. "My ship has a medical bay, full surgical suite." He stood, extending his hand. "But I have conditions." Kira stared at his outstretched palm as if it were a poisonous snake. Physical contact between species was rare, especially with Velthari. After a moment's hesitation, she grasped his hand with surprising gentleness. "Name them. You wear restraints during the procedure. For both our safety." Her ears flattened again. "Velthari are not bound. Dead Velthari don't hunt," Jake countered. "The restraints are medical grade, designed to prevent patient injury during surgery. Not chains of submission." Kira considered this, then nodded grudgingly. "Second, you trust me. Completely. If I say stop moving, you stop. If I say breathe differently, you do it. Your life depends on following my instructions exactly." The request clearly galled her, but she managed another nod. "Finally," Jake continued, "when this is over, You owe me a story. A real one. I want to know what a Void Stalker hunt is actually like. For the first time, Kira's expression showed genuine surprise. That's not what I expected. I'm not what most people expect. The surgery took 4 hours. Jake worked with steady hands while Kira remained unnaturally still, her breathing controlled. Despite the obvious agony, twice she growled warnings when the pain spiked, her claws extending reflexively, but she never lost control. The Void Stalker's barb was a twisted piece of organic razor, covered in microscopic hooks designed to work. Deeper with every movement, Jake extracted it millimeter by careful millimeter, sealing bleeding vessels and repairing tissue damage as he went. There, he said finally, holding up the extracted fragment. One less thorn? Kira rotated her shoulder experimentally, her amber eyes widening as the full range of motion returned. How did you ... Practice, patience, and the understanding that every life has value, regardless of species. Jake began cleaning his instruments. Your people aren't wrong about human medicine. We've had to develop precision techniques our bodies are fragile compared to most species. That fragility taught us to be gentle. Kira sat up slowly, testing her mobility. My pack will not believe this. A human surgeon operating on a conscious Velthari warrior. She paused. You have earned a debt of honor, Jake Morrison. Few outside my species can claim such a thing. Just doing my job. No, Kira said firmly. You chose to help when you could have walked away. You showed skill, courage, and she searched for the word, compassion. These are qualities my people respect. Over the following hours, as Kira recovered in the medical bay, she kept her promise. She told Jake about the hunt, the weeks of tracking through space, the deadly game of cat and mouse with a creature that existed partially outside normal dimensions, the bonds of pack loyalty that drove them to risk everything for each other. But more than that, she spoke of her growing understanding of humanity's place in the galactic community, not as the weakest species, but perhaps as the most necessary one. Your people heal what others would consider broken beyond repair, she observed. In a galaxy full of predators, perhaps what we need most are ... gardeners. Jake smiled at that. Gardeners with really steady hands. Keep staring and I'll pounce, Kira warned with mock ferocity. But her amber eyes held warmth now, instead of menace. But if you need a thorn pulled, human, call on me. As Jake watched her ship depart Nexus Station, he reflected on the day's events. In a universe that often seemed hostile to human fragility, perhaps their greatest strength wasn't in matching alien prowess, but in offering something entirely different, the gentle touch that could heal rather than harm, build rather than destroy. Sometimes, being human meant being the steady hand in a galaxy full of claws.